sure, and we're gonna talk more about that later anyway. But I just wonder, like, what would thank you.
It's all messed up.
I don't know if that was a real crisis party or what's going on, but thank you anyway, because I know you guys are super chatting.
I love you guys.
But I wonder what Kate Blanchett would have to say to Morphy Clark, who has taken up the role of Galadriel in Rings of Power, and we're about to talk about that right now. So I suppose the cast members of Rings of Power are going through the stages of grief for the potential that this series had and the fact that it completely died in public consciousness and no one cares about it anymore. So now they're in the stage of anger, and it seems like they're stuck there and they're just angry at the fan base. They're angry at people who liked the Peter Jackson films but not the series, even though Peter Jackson had nothing to do with the series and they completely shut him out of the project.
I'm going to go through a little bit. We're going to go through a little bit from each person because they got it's literally a cope list. So they're
like somehow in a group chat in cahoots on like new creative ways to hate the fans.
So
and it's getting really old.
Yeah, Ishmael Cruz Cordova, who played Arondir, Sophia Namvidi, who played Princess Disa, and Cynthia Adai Robinson, who is Queen Muriel Regent. Queen Regent Muriel. We're gonna go through a little bit from each one. So Cruz says the fact that the attention was shifted towards the shows shows you what the power of the show a show like this is. The fact that it hit that nerve and that our being in it created such a response just brings attention to the greatness of fantasy, the greatness of Lord of the Rings, and why it's actually good that we are here. I actually think there's a fair bit in the middle about the importance of fantasy, though I think he's kind of weirdly
because they already pointed out that they think the entire fantasy genre is tainted by the fans who ruin it for everyone by being racist homophobes. And it's like, I'm sorry, where's the evidence?
Here's the second part. He says, did it become a bit too much? Absolutely. It's taken airtime from the depth of who we are as artists, but from the depth of who we are as artists, which I don't know what that means. Like, nobody, when I watch a project, I don't care who you are.
Tolkien's work means.
I also don't care who you are. I mean, no disrespect, but I don't really care who you are as an artist. I care that you do your job well as an actor.
Yeah, I don't really care what Rings of Power says about
you.
Our culture. I don't care what it says about the showrunners or what it says about the actors and actresses playing characters in it. I care about whether it's enjoyable to watch. And it was a snooze fest start to finish.
It says, but it just shows you where we are in the world and how much work we still have to do. Remember, in the world of progressivism, it's never enough and there's always more that needs to be done.
They're constantly excavating. They're basically like excavating J.R.R. Tolkien's dead body from the ground and like defiling his body and his body of work. Really, they don't understand what Lord of the Rings meant to people, and that's why they're so disrespectful to the fan base.
There's a linguistic part here at the end that I think is really funny. He says, I'm just grateful that it's us who are able to recalibrate, break form, reshape, and make history. No, what you want to do is reshape.
What are you even talking about?
You want no, I think they're not making history, they're reshaping history, and those are very different things.
Right. It's not creative. It's destructive.
Exactly. Adai Robinson shared her thoughts. She says, in order to not have such an impact, the pendulum has to swing. We are right in the middle of that process. We just want to normalize. We do have to discuss it because we are now in a space in society where need to now and again acknowledge exactly what is happening. The problem with that is
the F does any of this mean?
The problem with that is that nobody has a problem with the inclusion of other races. They felt that it was done haphazardly and that every nation looked like. I think they forget, if you remember, like the West here, America in particular, is rare in the fact that it is a cultural melting pot, meaning that there's a lot of different groups that are all side by side, which is how they were portrayed in the show. A bunch of different groups that were all side by side, when in the real world, that's not what it would actually look like because of how exploration works. And
because this is a prequel series.
Do you mean like only like certain parts of America are more diverse in that sense?
Well, no, I'm saying that in America, if you go into a big city, you're going to see people of all different demographics in one place. And these places were portrayed like that in the show. And that's not what it would have actually been like based on the lore that they were shown.
Yeah, the lore was that these nations were very starkly distinct from each other. Yeah. And then because this is a prequel series chronologically, they're implying that some horrible genocidal event divided all of the races before Peter Jackson's films were made, where all of the nations were racially distinct and homogenous.
So fans are just like, this doesn't make that much sense.
Yeah.
And it feels
It's forced. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it says the level of distraction or aggression that was put towards us, it's been a painful journey to get there, but it has elevated us. It has put us in a position where there will be a plaque one day where the pendulum is swung to where it needs to be. I want you to tell me the answer to what it needs to be. What does that mean? Is there an end goal? Is there some type of actual conclusionary position that we're going to be in?
It's just
that
to
actually
keep making progress,
Yes.
to keep doing work.
But that's the problem.
Be
There
where
is-
we need to be.
There's never an end goal, right? So it
Little
says
vague.
when we get to where we need to be. And then if you ask them, like, could you actually spell out for me what that means? They're going to either give you a platitude that they'll put on a sign that they will stand outside of the front of the Supreme Court with, or they will give you, or they will dance around the question because there's no answer.
No, I think that there is an answer. But it's not one that they're not going to say out loud because it's extremely violent and hateful, and it's exactly everything they accuse us of being.
Yeah.
It's when there will be no more straight white male cis characters in entertainment any longer. They will be systematically wiped out from media. That is the end goal.
Luckily, you'll still be around.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I got the pass because I'm female.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like, that's the end goal. And if you ask them that what it is, they'll never actually say
Because
that.
it's
But from
more
all
vile.
of their actions, you can tell that's what it means.
then
And
I
the
wonder-
goalposts are always shifting.
Then I wonder this so much. I wonder how many of those people, is there a percentage of those people that actually believe that? And the rest of them, are they just like kind of idealistic, useful idiots that haven't put enough thought into it to understand that that's what the more nefarious people pushing these agendas actually want? That they're just good. They're just like, I just want everyone to get along, and I want everyone to be happy, and I want kumbaya. And they don't understand
a lot of people
that that's,
aren't intelligent enough to take this to its proper conclusion.
And as we know, actors are not people you should be lauding for their intelligence or their ability to have critical thinking.
No, and that's fine, but that's not
not
your
their job.
job.
It's not their
But
job.
you're
Exactly.
standing at the pulpit preaching to us as if you have any right to do so.
Yep. So Sophia Namvidi, who, by the way, was one of the characters I liked the most.
She played Muriel, by the way.
No, she played Disa.
Oh, really?
It was
okay,
Cynthia,
so I thought that Disa was actually not featured in the show
Very much.
nearly as much as we thought she was going to be, based
the
on the fact that
advertising.
she was pushed heavily in the promotion and the marketing before the show came out. Like, you would have thought she would be featured in every single episode, the way that they pushed her to the front, and it's actually kind of insulting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're like
Because
you're
they're like,
body
look at our
diverse,
token black woman character.
body diverse.
Oh yeah,
and
look at
body
our
div-
fat positivity as well.
She
Like-
said it, not me.
No, like, let's point it out because
Body
it's
positivity.
it's them who are like insulting her. Oh my gosh, this quote is really condescending. I feel that there has been a shutdown. I've even had apologies, which I love.
That was the part that bothered
You
me.
are sick in the head. Even if it were just one person acknowledging that frame of mind was wrong. Dude, no one owes you an apology for the way that the Lord of the Rings films were handled.
Yeah.
Like, you were not even remotely involved in that, and people loved that series. People do not love the series you are in, so you did not prove yourself at all. If anything, you need to prove yourself worthy of this franchise. The fan base does not need to prove themselves to you.
Are they saying that she was given an apology because of the original movies, or because of how
No.
she was
She's
treated?
received apologies for the way that this genre, that's what I'm interpreting, the way that this genre has treated diverse cast members.
I thought they were saying that she was getting. I took it even worse. I thought she was saying that she did such a good job in her role that people who thought she couldn't do the job then apologized to her because she did such a great job in the show. Which, as we know, even if I liked her, she wasn't even in it that much.
Oh my gosh. The costuming for her was abysmal,
Yeah.
by the way. Like, if you look at this picture, she looks like she is wearing like a sack or like a bed sheet or a curtain or something. And then they put a beehive on her head with glitter. And then the color contexts they have her wearing the entire series are extremely disturbing. I didn't want to look at her eyes the entire time she was on.
I don't believe that they're saying that they deserve to be there and should be there and that nobody else could have played that role. You could have dropped any number of people into those roles because
you're all nobodies.
Yes, there was.
I don't know how you spent $1 billion on this show and cast nobodies who thought that this was going to be their breakout project, and no one. I mean, no one liked it.
Cynthia Addai Robinson, I knew. From several things, and she's actually a really good actress. But like I said, I thought that this was worse for her.
Let's talk about the average audience member. They haven't heard of any of these people.
I'm just saying that
they don't recognize any of them.
I haven't heard of any of these people.
Yeah.
I actually thought it did her a disservice because she did well on roles that didn't need to be of that franchise level that was clearly pandering downwards. So
I hadn't seen her in anything before.
But
the average viewer has not seen any of these cast members before.
Nope.
To just like be real about it, like they cast nobodies despite having the money to have at least a couple of familiar faces.
Yeah.
This seems all like a money laundering scheme to me.
Well, maybe it is. That'd be cool.
I genuinely think it might be a way to like avoid taxes for Amazon Prime.
It's like them and
like they're trying to get this as a tax write-off, right?
That's a fantastic idea. Especially after.
Tell me I'm wrong.
It feels like there's a certain level of entitlement to be owed an apology, like that you believe that you're entitled to. Also,
like
that
I've been given apologies, which I love.
Like that is obscene.
Oh, you are mentally ill.
Yeah, that's obscene. To be like, you shouldn't want to love that.
Saying the quiet part out loud.
And it's not like these are people she knows. These are just viewers.
Yeah.
What's it matter?
Also, just the way that they're framing it as if like what they've had to deal with is some kind of huge undertaking when it's really just people being mean to them on the internet. In which case, just close your computer, just turn your phone off.
Man, I love when people are mean to me on the internet.
Some people learn to like embrace the fire.
I was raised in the streets, internet speaking.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.